Okay, so hi. This is Christy, my first live show. I've never done a live show, but I've got a newer phone now. I have the app, so might as well do it. And maybe this will solve my dilemma with time. So let's just see. Today, I wanted to come to you guys and talk about foot lasts, all right? Because foot lasts, when you get right down to it, are the thing that really hinder people in making shoes. I constantly get messages going, Christy, where can I get foot lasts? What kind of foot lasts do you use? And you'll see, if you look at my videos, you'll see that there's a lot of different options that I do depending on the size of the foot. Now, the reason is I bought all of these wooden antique foot lasts on Etsy. No, on eBay. They came from Australia and they had to be shipped here. It took months and months. But it was a whole set. So I thought, ooh, a whole set. And, you know, they were rather expensive. I think it was close to 400 bucks USD. So it wasn't a cheap investment. And it was like, I want to say like 12. All men's sizes, which is difficult because I primarily wanted to make them for women. Now, they didn't have my size. But in an antique store, I found these metal foot lasts. And they go on my metal stand. And I thought, well, that's super cool. In fact, do I have another one here? Nah, probably not. And what I did is I put foam in there, which is this great stuff foam. This is why I have this donkey here. I'm working on this donkey. See this? This is polyurethane foam that is sold in like your hardware stores on the brand name Great Stuff. All right, and once you get it foamed out, I mean, it's going to expand. If you get the window kind, because they make different formulas, the window kind, when it dries, will give you less air holes. If we look at the bottom here, we see all these air holes like a piece of bread. You want minimal air holes, obviously, when you're making a mold for something to use, like a foot last, or if you're going to be building some, you know, your own resist for whatever project, and you want to shape something around this. When I made my, what do you call it, jellyfish, and I wanted to see if I could needle felt a large hollow object, this is how I did it. I made a big half circle and then needle felted around. It took forever, but it was needle felted and shaped that way. This is also how I made my bra. So if you ever look at that intro thing and you see me, I almost kind of regret putting that on there, but I don't want to have to alter the whole video. Anyways, the bra, the cups in the bra are molded to that shape, which was my specific shape. And I did it by making this. And we're like, well, how are we going to do that, Christy? Well, let me tell you, it's a process. Let me tell you what I did so that you can kind of avoid the difficult issues. When I first started doing it, I started using duct tape. What I learned, and this is like a former customer's foot, I had her like put a stocking on, wrap her entire foot in duct tape, and then cut a little hole out so she could take her foot out, and then reconnect it, and that's how I was going to make a mold of her foot across a distance of time. Now, what I found out when making the bra is that you cannot put Great Stuff in duct tape, because Great Stuff requires this polyurethane foam. It requires an enormous amount of airflow to dry. It will literally never dry if you put it in here. So this one in here, I shaped all of this. Once it was dry, I put it around my foot and then carved around into the shape that I want. Now you can take a glob of this and you can make a foot last out of it, but when you do, and I had one and I got rid of it, when you do that, you create a lot of crumbs. So you can cut it with like a a bread knife, a serrated knife, but you create a lot of crumbs. So what you don't want to put that in your felt shoe, because then you get a bunch of crumbs in there. So this is like an old slipper that I did. So what you need to do is you need to like cover up your foot last in like saran wrap, or saran wrap's better cousin, press and seal. I love press and seal. I don't know. Press and seal is amazing. It is reusable and it clings so much better. So you want to cover your last in press and seal, so you're not going to get a bunch of little foamy crumbs out in your felt when you're felting. Now the bottom of this shoe, people always ask, this is Plasti Dip. So Plasti Dip, I don't think I have any anymore, but Plasti Dip is a great solution for beginners. And you dip the shoe in it over and over and over again. It gets thicker and thicker and thicker, and it creates a non-skid, great waterproof, sole, which is great for indoors, not great for outdoors. What'll happen is eventually it'll wear thin, and you're going to have to re-dip it. I put some up along the sides, hoping that would allow me to like walk outside on the wet grass. It doesn't. Inevitably, water gets up to some side, and then once you press into like a puddle or really wet grass, it'll draw the water in. So not great for waterproofing, which is why I had to go to the larger sole. But it's great for making your slippers non-skid. Really great, because you don't want to, slip all over the place. And if you were just going to run out and get the paper and on an already dry surface, great for that. It provides no protection against sharp rocks, though. None whatsoever. So, but that's, a whole nother subject. I'm getting off topic. So, when you're looking for foot lasts, I have found that you can find these metal feet in some antique stores, and on Etsy and on eBay. You can find them. The trick is to know the sizing. So you're really going to have to like research, how long a foot do I need? Because these old ones are all like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you have no idea what an A width is, a B width is, whatnot. So you're going to have to ask the buyer, what's the width? But then if it's not your width, really all you need is the length, and you could create the width by adding stuff to it and taping it up. So you could alter it that way. Be creative, okay? Don't let the lack of a foot last stop you from making the world's most amazing shoe, especially since you can use your live own foot or the foot of the person that you're making. If you've got their foot there, you can use it, and it's like an amazing massage, because you have to shape it around and massage the foot while it's in there. And who wouldn't love that as a gift? So let me show you really quick my shoe that I'm wearing right now. Well, I'm not going to be able to hop up on this table, but these are my current favorite boots. See, I did my cross design over here. And this was wet felted in. These were my steampunk boots that didn't fit super well at first. So then I had to put in stitching, I had to do extra felting, and now they fit like a glove. I don't even wear socks with these babies. I just throw them on, and they're amazing. So I want to encourage you. You do not need to be an artist to make these. You do not need to have any special skills to make these. People say, oh, Christy, you're so talented. I can't believe you did this. You're probably got like a master's. No. What do I have with my art background? I had a class in pottery in 7th grade. That is it. 8th grade, I took metal shop. And in high school, I took all extra academic classes. Never took another art thing ever. I didn't do any of this. Didn't start any felting until the age of like 45, something like, 44 when we moved over here. So, as I started that just because my kids were, getting a little more independent and whatnot. Now, a word on my kids. Some of you know that my kids had some serious medical issues over this summer that required extensive diagnostic stuff, like MRIs and all this business. For those of you who have been following, praise God, my daughter Grace does not have cancer. Thank you, Jesus. She had a abnormal CAT scan in her brain. She's got a totally normal brain now. There's nothing in there to alarm us at all. She does have juvenile arthritis. She does have some other stuff. You know, she's like, poor kid. She's like 9 years old. She's got like, I shouldn't laugh because it's rough. She's got some severe, you know, vision changes. And poor thing wears bifocals now. She's got arthritic knees. She's got arthritic feet. She's got some abnormalities of the spine. These are all things that took a lot of my attention. And my son took a lot of my attention this summer too, because he got diagnosed with some sensory issues, developmental delay in his fine motor skills. We do a lot of therapy. So consequently, I shut down my shop. So there's nothing in my Wool Envy shop. I am not selling anything. But if you want to message me and find out where can I get this stuff, or in future videos, I'll release my secrets to you as to how to source certain things that you're going to need for your felting projects. One of which, I have to say, in previous videos, I mentioned that Berkshire wool, you know, you can get that from DHG in Italy. Like, you could go on their website, and they are darn fast at shipping it to the US and Canada. They ship all over the world. They air ship it, and it's really reasonable because the prices in Europe, well, in Italy are you know, not too bad. I mean, it's not like a huge jump in price from the American dollar or the or Canadian dollar. And the thing is, they've secured a really great deal with DHL for their shipping. So they can ship it so much cheaper than like, you know, that I could ship. I could never ship to Canada for the amount of money that they can ship to Canada. It's like amazing. So, you know, check them out. You could just click the translate section in their website. They're very wonderful people to deal with. Really, really nice. And they will send you stuff for, you know, samples. And they're really great. So I highly recommend DHL. Just a wonderful source of not just wool, silks and those little nets and, you know, anything you want. Camel. Oh my gosh, they've got beautiful camel. They sent me a box. Oh, do we have time? I'll show you my box later because we're getting kind of late. But they sent me an amazing sample book of all their colors and a sample box of all of their fibers. So I could touch it and feel it and show it to you guys. And that is definitely going to be a future show because you have got to see this. And did you know that you can felt with cotton? Well, you can needle felt with cotton. You can needle felt with literally any fiber. It's phenomenal. It has a different sort of effect. So I might show you that. They did a tiny little video on itty bitty little figures to kind of show you what it looks like. But I mean, it opens up a whole world for people who are like wanting to vegan felt and stuff like that. So it's really cool. That's all for today. I've recorded this live because seriously, this is the very first live thing I've ever done. And hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to answer your questions live. Because now we have over 1,000 subscribers. Woohoo! Share these. Because as I get a greater following, then I actually have like way more incentive to do live shows. And that'll be really cool. And then you can ask anything you want. And I tell you, I will tell you because I love sharing information and I don't love keeping secrets. So have a great time, create something, and have a great day. Bye-bye.